35. That is the magic number, the current career home run lead for an entire generation that was supposed to revolutionize Japanese baseball. A crop of players touted for their explosive potential coming out of the 2015 high school draft and the 2019 college cohort. But here is the shocking twist. The player who holds that meager lead, Masataka Oka of the Oryx Buffaloes, is barely holding off a player who was drafted 4 years later. A player whose explosive surge reveals a developmental gap so profound, it explains why the mythical 100 homer club looks impossibly far away for this class 10 years into their careers.
Welcome, passionate baseball fanatics, to 601 Daily News, where we slice through the silence surrounding NPB's most embarrassing generational anomaly, the so-called Okoe class home run ranking, and ask why the titans of promise have become the dwarfs of disappointment. Let's not mince words. The current state of the Okoe Generation's power ranking is nothing short of a statistical indictment.
We are looking at players, the Kokosotsu group, who are now roughly 28 years old, deep into their supposed prime. Yet the leading home run total stands at a paltry 35 bombs, belonging to Oka. Second place is Latte Sato with 29, and third is the surging Gunji Yuma of Nippon Ham with 25. 35 career home runs after nearly a decade for the draft class leader?
It's genuinely depressing, sighed retired scout Koshikawa during a private conversation last week, to have the generational leader barely clear 30 home runs. It's a crisis of power that has effectively eliminated this class from the record books before they even truly entered their peak. For context, in the modern era, superstars like Munetaka Murakami were hitting 30-plus home runs per season by their 5th year in the league.
We expected someone from this class to be approaching 150 total by now. But the reality is that 100 seems like a Mount Everest they may never climb. The core issue, the epicenter of this tectonic failure, lies squarely with the 2015 Kokosotsu draft. This class was heralded as the power class due to the undeniable hype surrounding phenoms like Okoye Rui and Hirasawa Ryo. But what have we witnessed? Okoye sits at a disheartening 14 three-year bombs, and Hirasawa.
His trajectory is the spectral ghost that haunts this entire list, having washed out without ever realizing his potential. He was supposed to be the one challenging the 200 HR mark by now, driving the success of this draft. The failure of Hirasawa, particularly, was not just a busted pick, it was an organizational virus, argues baseball analyst Dr. Akiyama, known for his harsh statistical critiques.
When the most physically gifted, highest drafted kid fails to make the jump, it tells every other developing slugger that the system is either broken or too demanding. It creates a psychological barrier. The resulting data confirms the drought. The average Kokosotsu bat drafted in the top 5 rounds in 2015 has produced less than 15 career home runs total, a devastating return on investment.
Even Murabayashi at 12 HRs and Kuwabara at 10 HRs are struggling desperately to gain traction, further reinforcing the narrative of high school disappointment. But hold on, this story isn't just about failure, it's about a relentless internal conflict. While the Kokosotsu picks withered, the Daisotsu group from 2019 is launching a furious counterattack, primarily driven by the unstoppable momentum of Gunji Yuma and the fast-rising Ebina.
Gunji, currently with 25 total, has blasted an incredible 10 home runs already this season, demonstrating a mature approach and conversion rate that the older cohort could only dream of during their early years. This is the true intense conflict of the list, the slow, sputtering, and frankly embarrassing start of the high schoolers versus the immediate, mature, high-impact talent of the college draft. If Gunji maintains just a slightly conservative pace, say 15 more total this season, he will leapfrog Oka and steal the crown in just 6 total seasons in the league, a shocking indictment of the 4-year head start the 2015 high schoolers had. Gunji is playing angry, stated legendary Ham Fighters coach Takasudi recently. He knows this generation needs a champion, and he's decided he's the one.
He's not just hitting, he's carrying the weight of the entire class on his back, proving that the development gap between high school and college in that specific era was vast.
Now, I hear the counterargument already echoing across the internet forums. The game has changed. Pitching is deeper, defenses are smarter, and maybe the league just prioritized contact over power for a while. Yes, conditions are tougher.
But that argument crumbles instantly when you look at comparable recent drafts. The later classes featuring Munetaka Murakami saw power emerge immediately and undeniably. Murakami hit 36 home runs by his 4th season. Oka, at the same point in his career progression, was barely scratching 15. The problem isn't the current NPB environment. The problem is specifically the selection and development of power hitters in the 2015 high school draft class.
They either chose the wrong players or fundamentally failed to nurture the few talents they acquired. This brings us to the psychological plot twist that explains everything, the Hirasawa curve. Dr. Akiyama proposed a chilling theory. The Hirasawa expectation was so high, his failure was so public, that organizations became terrified of drafting high-risk, high-ceiling power bats.
They pivoted towards safer, high-contact college players. Pitchers were also the main targets, which is exactly why the 2019 Daisotsu group is comparatively successful in filling the power vacuum. The ultimate twist here is not who is leading, but who will be leading by the end of the year. Gunji is mathematically on pace to take the top spot, but keep your eyes glued to Ebi Na, currently with 15 career bombs, but 8 already this season. Compared to Oka's 7 HRs this season, the high school legend Masataka Oka is in genuine danger of being completely dethroned by a college bat drafted 4 years after him, proving that the Okoe Generation legacy will not be defined by the high school stars who started it, but by the relentless, mature resurgence of the late bloomers who stepped up to save it. The race to 100 home runs is no longer a sprint, it's a desperate marathon, where Oka's 35 home runs look less like a safe lead and more like a target painted squarely on his back. If you want more razor-sharp analysis like this, be sure to smash that like button, share this video with fellow fans, and subscribe to 601 Daily News. And tell us in the comments, will Gunji or Ebina overtake Oka for the generational home run lead by the end of this season? Or does Oka have one final surge left in his bath?